Good morning, everybody. Matt Moda here to give you my favorite MLB home run predictions for today. We are talking Sunday, June 29th. The Dong Report is back in your life. I'm going to start the video with my 3 favorite home run predictions for today and then go into the rest of the card after that. So whether you want to spray the board with all 10 guys that I have today or whether you just want to tail the first 3, you can do that watching this video. Before we get into that, let's do a recap from yesterday. Pretty good day yesterday. We got 3 of our guys to hit a home run. Let me zoom in a little bit here. And due to the odds, pretty good price on Donovan at plus 600, at Ketel Marte at plus 600, which was just an absolute gift. And then we got Jonathan Aranda at plus 400. It was a really nice day yesterday. We ended up the day up exactly 1 unit yesterday. Very good stuff. We couldn't get any of the rest of the guys. Schneemann. This Padres-Reds game is going to the series, I should say, is going to be the death of me. Couldn't get any Machado or De La Cruz. Lau, no. Paul Goldschmidt, no. And then Augustin Ramirez hit 2 ground rule doubles, but did not hit a home run. But we'll take a day in which we were up a unit in profit. That's always solid. On the entire season, we're getting close to getting ourselves back in the green on the year, down 3.79 units on the year, down about 4.5% ROI on the year. Now, if you're just putting 1 unit on every single guy that I've given out, you're up about 10 units on the year, just based on how the odds shook out and stuff like that. I kind of had different odds sizing depending on what or different unit sizing, I should say, based on what the odds were and all that stuff. But if you said to heck with all that, just put 1 unit on every single one, you're up 10 units, which, not bad. But those of you that are following my unit size guiding, you are down 3.79 units. But I love the Dong slate today. It's been really, really nice weather over the last couple weeks. That's the same today. Decent weather at Fenway Park. Really good weather at Great American Ballpark, but I'm taking this series off. I just cannot get anything right. And, to be honest, maybe I am taking a play that I shouldn't solely because of the weather, which is always something that I try to guard myself against. So just taking a break from that series. But Oriole Park, good. Yankee Stadium, good. Progressive Field, good. Angel Stadium, good. I don't have anything in this White Sox game, but also good there. So really good slate across the board. Mostly agreement according to Weather Edge with Ballpark Pal. They agree on Cardinals Guardians. They have that as a green game. They both like the Mets Pirates from a weather perspective specifically. They have that +9, I think, for each. So exact agreement there. They both like the Yankees. They both like the Red Sox. They both like the Orioles. They both like the Reds. They both like the White Sox, and they like it a lot. Weather Edge does. And more so even from a weather perspective in the Angels game. But Ballpark Pal likes it from a weather perspective, also close to even. But should be a really good slate for home runs. Let's hope that is the case. And then again, I'm going to start with my favorite 3. Number 1 of that favorite 3 is Jo Adell. The price on him is not amazing at plus 300 odds. That's the best offered price at FanDuel, plus 300 for Jo Adell. The dude just keeps annihilating the baseball. Like he did not hit a home run yesterday, but he hit the ball very, very hard yesterday. You look at, and he did not hit a home run, and the guy's on fire. You look at his game logs from yesterday, and you see that the exit velocity, he had 3 hits. He had 107 miles an hour off the bat. He had 106.8 miles an hour off the bat, and he had 105.5. That's insane exit velocity logs yesterday alone. And you look at just in general, over the last week, the last 2 weeks, whatever you want to look at, he's just been absolutely on fire. You look at the last 14 days, 20 hard hits, 8 barrels. That's incredible. You look at the last 7 days, 11 hard hits, 4 barrels. That's incredible. And then you look at the pitcher he's going up against, and I forgot to zoom into all these tabs, excuse me. The pitcher he's going up against, Mitchell Parker, is not a terrible pitcher, especially against, I guess I should say, on this season, he's not terrible. The last 5 weeks, he has been terrible. You look at him in the last 5 weeks, he's allowed 9 home runs, a home run every 13.67 at-bats. It's terrible against righties. It's about the same every 13 at-bats. The 3 pitches, he throws the 4-seam fastball almost 60% of the time. That gets nuked, as does his curveball and the splitter. And you look at guys on the Angels against left-handed pitching. A lot of them have decent numbers, admittedly, from a barrel rate perspective. A lot of them are good, including Jo Adell. 16.67% barrel rate is very, very good. But you look at the 3 home run pitches, 4-seam fastball, curveball, and splitter. And the hard hit rate honestly isn't amazing for Jo Adell. You see that it's kind of low, but that's only against the 4-seam fastball. He hasn't seen a ton of the other pitches specifically from lefties. But if we just open this up to the last 2 months as opposed to the last month, and then you see that it looks really, really good. Now, he strikes out a lot, admittedly, but 18% barrel rate, 57% hard hit rate is phenomenal. So Joe Adell's just been hitting the absolute piss out of the baseball. I'm going to bet on that continuing tonight in a good matchup against a guy that's been getting rocked in Mitchell Parker. So that is play number 1, Joe Adell to hit a home run, the first of my 3 favorites. Number 2, I'm going to Juan Soto. I'm taking him to hit a home run. He is actually, you're getting a better price than you would expect on Soto. It's actually $375 at ESPN Bet. If I refresh this, that is the line that I got on Soto was $375. See, $375 at ESPN Bet is a really good price when you consider the rest of the books are in the lower 300s. Ballpark Pal doesn't love it, but I'm okay with that. The biggest thing for Soto is, A, he's on fire. You look at the Mets and you look at hard hits, Soto is just on fire. He's got 9, the biggest thing is the barrels. He's got 9 barrels in the last 14 days. That is close, if not leads, the MLB in total barrels. It's okay, so it's tied, or he's in third. There are 2 guys above him with 10, Alec Burleson and Seiya Suzuki, but he's got 9. He's been hitting the ball incredibly well. And the pitcher he's going up against is a young guy who hasn't pitched a ton, but when he has pitched, has gotten rocked. Now, against righties, he's not terrible. Against lefties, home run every 22 at-bats. You look at him in general, home run every 25 at-bats. You'd like that number to be at 20 or below, but 25 is okay. 22 against lefties. The four-seam fastball, the changeup are the 2 biggest pitches for him. And Soto, the rate in which he's been barreling the baseball up in a good pitching matchup is something that I definitely want to take advantage of. You look at Burrows on the year, and you see it's a little bit worse. Home run every 17 at-bats against lefties. So he's maybe gotten slightly better in his last 5 starts, but not really. And in general, a home run allowed every 20 at-bats or so. Under that number, it's very, very bad. In Soto, the rate he's been barreling up the baseball, again, 9 in the last 14 days. It's insane. The last 7 days, he's got 5. He's one of 10 batters with 5 or more barrels over the last week. I want to just continue riding that in what is a decent weather game, according to both Ballpark Pal and Weather Edge, plus 9% on Ballpark Pal, and I believe it was exactly 9% on Weather Edge as well. Yeah, 9.7% there. So that is my second play, my second of my 3 favorites as well. And then the last one, my third of the 3 favorites, I'm going right back to Agustin Ramirez to hit a home run. We're getting a really, really nice price on him at plus 650. That's part of the reason why we are on this. It's plus 650. You could still get 600 on ESPN Bet and Fanatics, and I would even take it down to 540 at FanDuel. I'm cool taking it as even the worst price you can get, just maybe not the 450 at Caesars. But the thing with Agustin Ramirez is you look at barrels over the last 7 days. Guess who's also one of those batters that has 5? That would be one Agustin Ramirez. He's got 5 barrels in the last 7 days, which is really, really good. You look at the guys above him. I mean, 4 home runs, 4, 2, 4, 2, 2, 4, 2, 3, 4. He's only got 1. He had, again, I mentioned 2 ground rule doubles yesterday. It was really, really, really frustrating, the fact that he did not hit a home run yesterday, because you look at, not only did he have the 2 ground rule doubles, but you just look at the exit velocity, and you see Agustin Ramirez home run in 4 of 30 ballparks isn't amazing, but 389 feet is pretty good. And then he had another one, 108 miles an hour off the bat. Granted, it was a negative launch angle, so it was never going to be anything, but at least he hit the ball hard. Then he had another double, home run in 20 out of 30 stadiums. It was a ground rule double. Really, really frustrating stuff, the fact that none of those were a home run. But it shows a pitcher that's hot, or excuse me, a hitter that's hot, and he's got a really good pitching matchup. Eduardo Rodriguez is pitching for the Diamondbacks. 2 years ago, Rodriguez was awesome. Since he's been a member of the Diamondbacks, he has not been good. He's a lefty. You look at him against right-handed hitters, home run every 25 at-bats. He's allowed 9 home runs on the year. That's not terrible. You look at his last 5 starts, we just want to say, hey, is he getting any better? He is getting slightly better, so I will give him that. Granted, he's been really hit up by lefties in a tiny sample size. But you look at the ancillary numbers, I mean, it is pretty good across the board. But throws that four-seam fastball 50% of the time. And that is what Agustin Ramirez hits really well, is the heat. So I feel good about going at, even though Eduardo Rodriguez has been better. You look at Agustin Ramirez, about a 10% barrel rate, 53% hard hit rate, putting the ball in the air at a decent amount as well. That's over the last 2 months. You look at the last month, even better, 12.5% barrel rate, 55% hard hit rate. That's from a four-seam fastball from a lefty. So even with Rodriguez pitching better recently, I still really do like Gus Ramirez to hit a home run. Again, especially at the plus 650 or 600 odds. And that's the biggest thing here is the price that we are getting. So that is my third of my three favorites. So if you just want to tail those three, go ahead. Would appreciate it if you still watch the rest of the video. And now we'll go into everybody else that I am taking, including two guys on the Blue Jays, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Alejandro Kirk. We're taking both of them to hit a home run. The biggest thing here is Walker Buehler is pitching for the Red Sox, who's been getting rocked recently. But we'll go through the odds real quick. Alejandro Kirk is plus 650 and Vlad is plus 550. So another one of those situations where I really, really liked the odds on both of these guys. Plus 550, plus 650 are really good. 630 for Kirk and 450 for Guerrero is still fine, but obviously you want to get the best price where you can. So Walker Buehler is pitching for the Red Sox, and he has been getting annihilated recently. His last 5 starts, home run every 9 at-bats to right-handed hitters. He just cannot get that four-seam fastball past anybody. That's the biggest issue for him, is that four-seam fastball. You look at, a lot of guys on the Blue Jays have good numbers against the four-seamer, including, and I was really hard to decide who I wanted to take. Admittedly, there's a couple good options. I went with Kirk and Vlad because you look, they're both hitting the ball well. They're both like in barrels. Kirk isn't barreling the ball up a ton recently, but 10 hard hits in the last week is good. Vlad's got 2 in the last week, and then you look at the last 2 weeks, and Kirk 6 barrels, Vlad 5. Those are 2 pretty healthy numbers. Springer hasn't really done much recently, which is why I was off him. And then Bo Bichette is also a decent look. So you could go with Bo Bichette. The scary thing with him is that launch angle is at 5 degrees, hitting the ground ball 50% of the time. It's a little bit scary, so that's why I went with the 2 guys. But the biggest thing, again, is just fading Walker Buehler, who has been getting absolutely rocked against righties recently. 4 home runs to his four-seam fastball. A bunch of these guys have good numbers against the four-seamer, with admittedly Springer having really good numbers, but he's not as hot recently, so it's kind of the dance we play. So I went with Kirk and Vlad for this one. Next up, I have 2 plays in this Yankees Athletics game. I'm going with Nick Kurtz, and I'm going with Jazz Chisholm, taking both of them to hit a home run. A little bit of a stinky price on both of these guys. Kurtz was $360 at FanDuel, and Jazz was $400 at ESPN Bet, which is actually better than what I got. I got $375 at ESPN Bet, so that's what I'm tracking it. But those of you watching it now can get a better price. The thing with Kurtz is the guy's just an absolute animal, and that's really what it comes down to. The pitching matchup is not incredible for both of these guys. Marcus Stroman is pitching for the Yankees, and he's making his first start since April. So he hasn't pitched at all in the last 5 weeks. You look at him on the year, and he last pitched April 11th. Now, he got hit hard in the 2 starts, but it's really hard to know what to expect from him. He got hit hard by lefties specifically. You see these numbers across the board are terrible. Stroman wasn't terrible last year when he pitched against left-handed pitchers. I'm not necessarily expecting him to be this bad. I'm also not necessarily expecting him to be in the game for that long. And Kurtz is just an animal. He hit a home run yesterday. He's just been on fire over the last week. And not only did he hit a home run yesterday, but he had another flyout that was the harder of the 2 hits. That was 108 miles an hour off the bat, traveled 392 feet. So when he's playing at the Yankee Stadium where you can hit a home run that's only 356 feet because you get that short porch to the right field. Pull hitter, Kurtz has just been dominating recently. You look at his numbers, 7 barrels over the last 2 weeks. Really impressive. 16 hard hits is a healthy number. And then you look at Jazz. You know what? You want to know who else has been barreling the baseball up recently? Jazz Chisholm Jr., who also has 7 over the last 14 days. He's got 18 hard hits over the last 14 days, which is a healthy number. And then the pitcher for the Athletics is Luis Severino. Severino's not that bad. You look at him, home run every 44 at-bats against lefties, 45. You look at him over his last 5 starts, however, and it's a little bit worse. Home run every 28 at-bats. Granted, it's not terrible to lefties. The biggest thing is the four-seam fastball and the cutter. And if you look at the entire year, it's similar. It's the four-seam fastball and the cutter with the sweeper in there as well. And you look at guys on the Yankees, Jazz is just hitting the ball really well. But you look at specifically the four-seam fastball and the cutter, and phenomenal numbers for Jazz. 13% barrel rate, 41% fly ball rate is the most important thing here. So he's hitting the ball hard, and he's putting it in the air. The hard hit rate at 47% isn't amazing, but again, it's the last 2 weeks where he's been really good. And you look at him, you see like 110 miles an hour off the bat, 104, 105, 99, 105. So I like both of them. Just you want to take a lefty at Yankee Stadium. Next up, I have two guys in the Guardians game. Now, I will admit, I kind of went back and forth on these two. These are probably the last two that I locked in. But what it comes down to is for Wilson Contreras and Alec Burleson. Good weather game. It's been a good weather game all week, and that continues. And home runs have been flying in the stadium, which is good. The odds on these guys are pretty good, which is an important thing. You can get, for Wilson Contreras, the best price is actually on Flip at plus 495. If you don't use Flip, you can get 475 at ESPN Bet and Bet365, what I would take. And then for Burleson, the best offered price here is 480 at FanDuel. Burleson, you can make the argument, is the hottest hitter in baseball. He leads the MLB in barrels over the last 2 weeks. He is tied with 3 batters with the most hard hits over the last 2 weeks. That's very, very impressive. He's been amazing. The pitcher, Logan Allen, his home run per 9 on the year is at 1, which is a good number. But you look at him since May 25th, his last 6 starts, that home run per 9 is up to 1.63. His barrel rate allowed is up to 11%, which is a bad number. The hard hit rate is admittedly low, and the launch angle is about average. So you look at him on the year versus recently, he's been a lot worse recently, which is why I feel a little bit more comfortable with this one, Logan Allen. He's always been worse against lefties, which is something that we're going to talk about with Alec Burleson. You look at him against lefties, home run every 18 at-bats, every 47 against righties, so that's obviously good. But you look at him in the last 5 weeks, it's a home run every 30 at-bats against righties, down, so that's down, and then every 9 at-bats, granted, tiny sample size, but every 9 at-bats against lefties. And then you look at the guys on the Cardinals, barrel rate against lefties, Wilson Contreras, 15%. That's a good number. Alec Burleson, 10%. That's a good number. And you look at the ISO rate, 267 for Wilson Contreras, 219 for Alec Burleson. Both of those are good numbers and decent plate appearances. Burleson's the hottest hitter in baseball. And then Wilson Contreras, I know that he just went yard yesterday, but it's not only the fact that he just went yard. It's what else he did at the plate. You look at him, look at his box score. He had 4 hard hits, which is very, very impressive. And then you go through them. So he hit a home run that was 430 feet, just absolute tanked. He had another double that was 104.8 miles an hour off the bat. He had another flyout that traveled 382 feet that would have been a home run in 16 of 30 stadiums, 101.7 miles an hour off the bat. And then his fourth one isn't really anything that impressive. It was a flyout, but only 95.8. But that's 3 hits above 100 miles an hour with 1 home run, 1 long flyout, and then another hit absolutely annihilated. And then Logan Allen, he throws the fastball a lot to right-handed hitters. I guess it's 25% of the time, so not quite a lot. But Wilson Contreras has good numbers against the pitch mix from Logan Allen, which is why I'm comfortable going with him, even though the numbers are slightly worse against righties than they are lefties. So those are the two. And then the last play that we have here is Jackson Holliday. We're taking him to hit a home run. He is offered at a pretty good price at plus 475 at Bet365 or 470 at FanDuel. It's a good price on both. He went on a cold streak. He's been back. He's been better recently. And the pitcher, Taj Bradley, is a good pitcher. He allows a home run. None to righties. To lefties is where he can get hit up. Last 5 starts, 4 home runs allowed to lefties. And the biggest thing here is that 4-seam fastball, which he throws 50% of the time. And that is a number that Jackson Holliday can hit hard. The 4-seam fastball, he's always been able to hit it hard. The 4-seamers we want to look at specifically, 15% barrel rate, 55% hard hit rate, 27% fly ball rate. That's over the last month where he hasn't hit a single home run, but those numbers are really good. And again, Taj Bradley can be had against his 4-seam fastball. And honestly, the splitter and the cutter as well. But the biggest thing is the 4-seamer. And then just Jackson Holliday, again, he had a pretty tough cold streak. I mean, basically the entire Orioles did. But recently he's been good, including yesterday. He had 3 hard hits yesterday, and they were hit pretty hard. He had a flyout that was 386 feet, 103 miles an hour off the bat. He had another 101.5 miles an hour off the bat, and then he had a 96. So it's really those two with one being a deep fly out, which is what we're looking for. So that's all we got. 10 guys, 3 of my favorites for you guys to lock in. My 3 favorites being Agustin Ramirez, Joe Adell, and Juan Soto. Love the price on Agustin Ramirez, and then the rest of them are Vlad, Alejandro Kirk, and then the Yankees game, Nick Kurtz and Jazz Chisholm Jr. Then the Cardinals game, Alec Burleson and Wilson Contreras, and then Jackson Holiday rounding out our 10th and final one. That's all we got. Appreciate everybody for watching. Check out, this is my Tails account where I send everything out early. If you don't always want to watch the YouTube videos, but you want to tail, this is the way to do so. Link if you want to sign up to Ballpark Pal as well. I kind of walked you through how I use them. But that's all we got. Make sure to bet responsibly. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and have a good one.